Give people a couple more minutes to get on, and then we will do our accountability check-in. Okay, let's start with our accountability check-in. So you can share anything that you've done this weekend or today so far to get your week started. Stacy, you want to get us started?
Yeah, I was in Bend all last week actually helping a friend with something. It was he was doing a flip on a house for an investor there, so I had a chance to sit down and meet with the investor who's done a lot of investing in Bend. But I spoke with him about branching out into the Portland market and gave him my business cards, and so there's something hopeful there.
Great, that's wonderful. Good connection to have. Taylor, how's everything going with you?
Good. I hosted another open house. That was last weekend, though I didn't do one this weekend. I had a event for my other business. I was actually in my community, so I got to talk to a lot of people that I haven't seen in a while, talk about what I've been up to. And I also met with a lender recently as well.
Good, perfect. Good job. We'll have to check that off your bingo card too. Q?
I'll be back. You're on the right track. Just a little.
How was your accountability, Q? Or how's your business going?
Ready?
I can't hear you. Is your
And then I'll do this after that. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there you are.
Yeah, I had oral surgery last week. So, and then I had flu. So
Oh,
I slowed down a little bit, but that didn't stop me doing the work that I wanted to do. So, I ordered my business card and I sent you my door hanger design, and then
yeah,
I'm gonna print that out.
perfect.
And that's for farming. And and I met a couple of friends from Intel, and then got the updates. And then one of them had a baby, so I'm gonna pay a visit to her house. Uh, and then obviously her own community, like all her family members are there, aunts
Yeah,
and mothers. So I'm hoping to develop some network over there.
good.
And then
Okay.
yep, and then I got updates from the other Intel friend, and then he said he actually he had a friend of he has a friend who actually just stepped into the real estate business. So there's another competitor, and then that's the update I had. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, excellent. Good job keeping in touch with everyone. Joanna?
I think last week was very productive because many agents went to family reunion in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity to make home inspections and orientation in a new house and some showings. I got experience.
Excellent. Good. That's great. Those opportunities can be definitely useful practice. Phoenix, how's everything with you? How are you feeling? You better?
Hey there, yeah, I had the flu last week too. I got a couple things done. I also ordered business cards. I finished my website and I caught up on a few classes, but yeah, I was deliriously sick for a while, so I'm really glad to be back at class today.
So glad you're feeling better. Brendan, how are you doing?
Been good. I just set up my first meeting with a potential client today, which I'm really excited about. It's an old friend of mine, and they're looking to buy something.
Awesome. Let me know if you need any help with the buyer broker contract or anything like that. All right, who am I missing? Young, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Yeah. Also, I visited on open house around the neighborhood.
Oh, good.
Although you can, yeah.
Excellent. And is this Chinista? Who is that? Hey. Oh, you're muted. Oh, you're still muted. We can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep. Hey, welcome.
Thank you. So what's your question again? Sorry, I run around and I don't I
Oh,
didn't
that's
hear.
okay. I just wasn't sure. I haven't met you before, so I was just saying how's your business going?
I just got the license in December and joined the uh, KW in December, and I haven't have any business yet.
Well, you're in the right place to learn more, then that's good. So welcome. Okay, I need to figure out where our instructor is. So one moment, guys, while I reach out to him. I'm gonna turn doorbell sound on. All right, he's getting on. So while he gets on, oh, here's Sung Choi. I'm going to read you his bio. I'm excited for you guys to learn from Kurt. He is newer to our Experience Brokerage Network, but not newer to KW or real estate. So really excited to have him. He is a true client-centered professional and has successfully assisted his clients across a broad range of transactions. Attention to detail and excellent communication are Kurt's hallmarks. By actively listening to his clients, Kurt is able to pinpoint their needs and provide accurate real-time information to assure timely results. He returned to Portland in 2016 after spending 2 decades traveling throughout the nation to assist tens of thousands of families whose properties were damaged and lives affected as a result of natural disasters. As a commercial and residential property claims specialist in catastrophe operations and then management, Kurt gained the skills that made his real estate a success: empathy, listening, integrity, problem solving, negotiating, communication, and most importantly, the commitment to put the interest of others as his top priority. Previously, Kurt has also a storm chaser and actively pursued severe weather events such as tornadoes, hurricanes, wildfires, and thunderstorms to study and document building materials in order to provide guidance on safer construction. While storm chasing can be thrilling and scientifically valuable, it also comes with significant risks, including dangerous winds, lightning, and flash floods. So a little bit of an adventure seeker you guys have today. But really excited to hear his take on our material and get that exposure. So he should be on any minute. Anyone else have any questions or anything you want me to answer while we get him logged in?
Will our class be broadcasted in the Market Center tomorrow after the banquet?
We certainly could set that up easily, yeah. We have Instagram and Reels tomorrow, right? Yep. Yeah, that will be a fun one. I know there's been some recent algorithm changes and stuff too, so I'm excited to hear what she has to say about those. Door button apparently is not working on my computer, which is fun. I'll let them know to get that after, and the food will be good. If you're in the Eugene Springfield Market Center, make sure you're coming to our awards banquet tomorrow. It'll be fun. We're gonna have a good brunch spread.
Mara, I have a question about
Yep.
the RF.
Yeah.
The forms, there are 3 websites you can get the forms, and Seed Forms is Sky is Loop and Loop. What is the best? Seed Forms?
So we don't use Dotloop anymore. Zip Forms is one that you can get a free account from through, because they have a partnership with Oregon Realtor Forms. And so I use Zip Forms. I've always used Zip Forms. DocuSign you will use for your electronic signatures, but you can also use that platform to access your documents if you're wanting to do it right within the command system. Otherwise, if you do Zip Forms and DocuSign, just for like the signatures, then you'll just need to save those documents and upload them into your command. So you can use either. Some people really like SkySlope. I haven't ever really used it, hasn't been my go-to. Just a minute, let me take this call because I believe it might be our. All right, I'm going to assign Kurt as the
Hello.
hi. All right, you got host power.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And my apologies. I had to take my mom to the hospital.
Life happens. We've got you.
And you know how that happens when, I don't know, do you have older parents or not? Do any of you have older parents?
Guaranteed.
Okay, if you don't, guess what's going to happen? We're going to have to deal with this, okay? So thank you so much for your patience. I really appreciate it. I'm looking at everyone on the roster. Do you mind? I'm just going to look from the left to the right to the bottom and over. Brendan Dane, how are you?
I'm doing good.
How long have you been in real estate?
About 3 weeks.
3 weeks. What office
Yeah.
did you sign up with?
The Eugene Springfield Keller Williams.
And what did you do before then?
I did DoorDash for a long time and I'm still doing that, but I was the cafe manager at a little shop called Sequential for 7
Okay,
years.
awesome. And you just went off the screen. So are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. Taylor, hi.
Hello.
Tell me about you. How long have you been in real estate?
I just got licensed in January.
And what office are you with?
Eugene Springfield as well.
Awesome. Okay, and what did you do before that?
I manage my father-in-law's business. I'm still doing it right now, but I'm able to do both as of right now.
Okay, and what is that business?
It's contracting, not house building, but tree cutting.
Okay, awesome. And
Yeah.
I'm looking over to wait, my eyes, when you get older, your eyesight's really bad. So we've got is it Joanne? Jimenez?
Johanna,
Did I get it right?
it's okay.
My eyesight gets really bad. How about you? How long have you been with KW?
I got my license in December.
You guys are like awesome. And what office are you with?
In Keller Williams Sunset Corridor.
Sunset Corridor. Awesome. What did you do before this?
I was a lawyer in Costa Rica.
I love Costa Rica. Okay, so awesome, awesome. Okay, so we have, is it Q? Q?
Q-Han.
How do you pronounce your name?
Q-Han. I usually go by Q because it's easier for everyone to pronounce.
Okay.
Q, just alphabet Q.
And what office are you with?
The Sunset Corridor.
Sunset Corridor. I love it. And what did you do before this?
I used to work at Intel for about 8 years, and then after that I went through some rehab because I had an injury, and then it took about 1.5 years, and then I did some digital product development, and then after that I got the license because I've been a real estate investor as well.
Okay, awesome. Young, we have you here. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I got a license November last year.
Okay, I love it. And what office are you with?
Sunset Corridor.
Okay, you guys, Sunset Corridor, I love it. Okay, let me scooch over to here. Sorry, my eyesight's so bad right now. When you hit 60, it all goes away, okay? So we have, what's your name?
Shanista.
Okay. How do you pronounce it?
Shanista.
Shanista. Okay. And what? How long have you been in real estate, and what office are you with?
In December, I am with Sunset Corridor.
Awesome. And I know Stacy and Phoenix and Sung Hung are here too. Do you mind if I ask them their experience too? Stacy?
I got licensed at the end of October last year. I'm Sunset Corridor. I originally started as part of a team, but then decided to branch off and just do the individual. So I'm taking this trading class. And before this, I co-owned a property maintenance business.
Awesome. And how long have you been with KW? When did you get your license again?
End of October.
Congratulations, you guys. You're all amazing. And I've got 2 more. Sung Hung.
Hi. I joined Keller Williams Sunset Corridor last October.
Awesome. And what did you do before that?
Before then, I worked as an paralegal at an immigration law office.
You guys are all so smart. It's just ridiculous. And then we've got Phoenix, and I appreciate the Phoenix name. I went to Arizona State. Hey, Phoenix.
Hey there. So I started at the Eugene location 2 weeks ago. I had a flu for one of those weeks, so I'm excited to really get into it now. And before that, I had my own online skincare business for 8 years.
You guys are so smart. It's ridiculous, and I appreciate all of you for sharing just a little bit of your backgrounds. How are you guys feeling getting into the real estate business?
Excited.
Yeah. Do I have any more like waves up or what? Waves up. I want everyone to see a wave up because here's the one thing about real estate, it's going to change your life. It will build wealth. And I'm talking from someone who used to be a storm chaser. Okay, you guys, I didn't know anything about real estate. I bought real estate, but it was like blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing is you guys, you can really make a difference in your lives and the lives of, if you have kids or family, or if you want to build a legacy, this is the best way to do it. And so I'm so excited for all of you being so new to all of this, if that makes sense. Okay. Did you guys have some homework to do before this?
No.
I need to say homework. Did you do something before this to like come up with strategy or take up your or to build up your numbers and do your contacts. What was your last session like? Anyone can just do this. How was your last session?
They've
On
all
a-
been kind of been like this. They've all been kind of like this. I mean, each day we just have new classes on a different topic. And so there's not a lot of homework, but I think most of us have downloaded most of our contacts from our phones and we're starting with that, trying to work through it and utilizing the tools that we are learning through the class and the experience to try to put that into practice.
All right, so what's our top topic today? Anyone?
Strengthen relationships, I
Okay, I
believe.
feel like, did you ever see Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Or did you ever see that movie? Am I aging myself?
No, I've seen it. It's a classic.
Okay, all right, it is a classic. So here's what I want to participate the entire time with all of you, okay? I'm not calling you out, but it's just like having a conversation. And I'd like to have that with all of you. Do you all like, is that going to be okay with you?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay. Before we get in, do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for me
Well,
about my experience?
well, it'd be great if you can share your prior experiences as an agent. Obviously, it's well, in this real estate industry, I'd say there is a strong survivorship bias, because if you're successful, then everything is just awesome, right? But half of the agent in this industry cannot hit the 1 year mark, and then the rest, they have 2 jobs, right? And then we're always talking about high performer achievers, but what's the reality?
Okay, and I love that question because I was scared to go into real estate. I just didn't know. I didn't want to be a salesperson. I just wanted to build an income and help people out, right? But that doesn't all necessarily mean you're going to be really successful. Would you all agree? No? Yes? You guys can unmute if you want.
Yep.
So I got into real estate in 2016. I used to be a storm chaser, literally. And then I moved up to Oregon from Palm Springs because my parents had moved here and they didn't know anyone. And then dad got sick with cancer. So I came up here, okay, and to spend time with my family and to take care of my dad in his last days, right? So for me, it was personal coming up here, helping out my family. And then it's like, OMG, what am I going to do from here? Right. And so I did a little bit more research and I really thought I knew that real estate is going to make the difference for me in the legacy I could provide my nieces and nephews and my family. That's how I got into real estate. And I'm going to tell you, there's a few things that you guys really need to consider and maybe write this down. It's who has a passion for real estate? What's your passion? Who has a passion for real estate? I want to do the hands. Okay. Do we only have, okay, we have 1, 2, and I'm waving my hand. We have 3. I've got a couple who are questioning or who haven't raised their hands in the passion in real estate, right? I'm just asking.
Yes, I do. I just didn't raise my hand.
Okay. So here's the thing. What I've always learned is to do what I love, right? That's the most important thing. Number 2 is when I do what I love, we're going to have consistency. And consistency is going to be building that model to do what we need to do to be successful. Would you all agree? I don't know.
Yes.
So it all starts with that spark. And here's the thing. We need to start with that spark. And if you don't have the spark yet, we need to figure it out. Okay. You can reach me offline and we can talk about your spark. But here's the most important thing is that, oh my gosh, real estate can be amazing. When I got into real estate, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, you guys. I had purchase agreements. I didn't even know how to fill them out. Okay, so I lost probably my first 6 transactions because I wasn't even filling it out right. I had no idea what I was doing. But the more I dug into it, the smarter I got. Okay, it's okay to fail, but what we're always going to do is fail forward. Would you all agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Any experiences with you guys in the past failing forward that you want to share with the group? Anyone? It's okay to be vulnerable. We're all vulnerable today, okay? Did anyone have like an experience where they failed, but they failed forward? Okay, I'm not going to call you out on that.
I'm like, we learn always new things about our kids when you raise your kids, and then we learn quite a bit, and then we are all first-time parents, and then as we grow, as our kids grow older, we learn from them, and then obviously I'm now a better parent, so that's kind of how to fail forward.
Okay, that's a perfect example. I don't have kids, but I've got dogs, and I was a nightmare dad dog, but I learned how to understand. It's a dog story, but it doesn't compare to kids. Okay, so I get it, and we learn from our experience, from our history. Our history doesn't make us, but our history will inform us how to make better decisions. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to. Do you guys have like a copy of what we're going to be reviewing today? Or no?
Yeah, we have a book that we go off of.
Do all of you have the book?
I do.
I do.
Okay, I heard from 3 of you.
Yes.
What page are we on?
Well, we haven't got to the page, but let's go. I just want to make sure you have that, okay? We're going to go through today's agenda, all right? And that would be on page, in my book, it's 12.3. Do you guys have the same book?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so let's talk about establishing the mindset. Do you guys see that up here? And that's the Ignite session 12, and it's on page, oh Lord, 12.3. Do you guys all see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about lead capture. What is a lead, you guys? And there's no wrong answer here, you guys, because I just like recently called a lead, and it wasn't a lead. Okay, so how do you guys define a lead? And there's no wrong answer. Let's just like chat, okay? How do you
Isn't it
define
anybody that wants to have a two-way conversation with you with regards to real estate leads? Or is that a contact? I get those confused.
Well, you know what? And who just said that?
It was Stacy.
Stacy, here's what's really interesting is that I always confuse lead with contacts. Okay.
Same.
Yeah. So let's start with contacts first. Okay. Do you guys want to go there first? Just
In another class, they said a contact is someone that should know you by your first name.
Well, here's the thing, you guys. What I used to do, and this is I moved to Portland with only knowing 5 people, okay? And then I built my database to 5,000 within 2 years.
Wow.
And it's because I like when I would go to the Pearl District, I don't care if it was raining, but anyone who had like a card or information that was sopping wet, I would pick it up and I put them into my database and then follow up with them. Okay. So I was like, and I don't be offended, but I was like a lead slut, okay? Anyone who I got information from, or I would go to Starbucks or anywhere, and you know how they have cards on the wall? I would take them and put them in as a, I guess we're going to call it a lead, okay? And that's how I was able to build up my database. Let me ask you, and there's no wrong answer here, who has 50 in their database?
I have 1,300.
Okay, and that's Taylor or Stacy?
Stacy.
Okay, who's got 20 in their database? Who has, okay, Sung Young. Okay, so who's got 10 in their database?
I only have 10.
Who's got 1 in their database? Okay, we're going to talk about this, okay, if that's okay. Are you guys all on Command, or are you using a different system?
Command.
Are all of you on Command?
Command. Yep.
Command.
Command.
Oh, why you guys? Okay. So, wow. 1,300 is amazing, okay? Remember, I started with 5, and it was my mom, my dad who passed away. I had a nephew out here. It was ridiculous. But the most important thing I want you guys to realize and understand is that building your database is going to be your gold, okay? It's gold to you. Do any of you have any questions in that regard? How the database is like, it's your moneymaker? Or do you want any further explanation on that, or want to talk about it? You guys don't be shy. Any feedback? Phoenix? Okay. So I'm not going to put pressure on you, but we're going to be talking about relationships and lead generation. So here's the one thing, and we're kind of still on your page of 12.3, okay, you guys? Here's how I look at it. I got my leads from pretty much anyone I spoke with. How do you guys get leads when you talk to someone? I mean, how does that go?
I actually asked in another class and I didn't get an answer, so I still don't know how to start that conversation at all.
Oh my gosh, I love it. That's amazing. So here's what I don't do, and I'll let you guys know this. Do all of you have the KW app downloaded on your phone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone not have it downloaded on their phone? There's no wrong answer. Okay. So here's the thing. Most people don't. We're in an environment where we want to be paper friendly, environmental friendly, right? So I stopped using business cards. And what I personally did to build up my business was actually I downloaded the KW app. And if anyone had questions regarding real estate, or like, oh, are you in real estate? Guess what I did? I just shared my app with people. Okay. That's how I started building my business. All right. Who's done that with the app? Oh my gosh. Okay. And I mean, business cards are good, but what do you guys do with business cards when you get them? I mean,
I carry them around with me and hand them out to anybody that I come in contact with, and even begin to have a conversation with, regardless of whether it's somebody in the hospital, somebody I meet on the street, another person that owns a store, something I frequent, anything like that. I hand out my business card.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing. Business cards you get, what do we normally do with them?
Keep them a while, then lose them or throw them away.
You know what? I've got 4 dogs, and I've had 2 dogs like chew them up and give them to me, and I'm like, holy SHRT, for lack of a better word. So here's the thing. And hey, thank you for sharing that with your business card. What I've seen is that if we, what I've done in the past is share the app with someone, because then you have to put their number in and their name. And then all of a sudden, is that a lead?
Yeah.
Or if we made contact with them, is that like a contact? I don't know.
It's a potential lead.
Yeah, there we go. So here's how my mindset was, is I want to give them something of value up front. And I think the KW app was something of value that I can give them. And then they can share that with someone else. Once you start having a conversation with them, you can ask them to share the app with someone who has questions regarding real estate. So it's a really good way to build your business. I love the business cards, and thank you for mentioning that. This is just another way that you can build relationships, okay? You know,
I also built it into my business cards. I have a QR code that I designed to put on the back of my business card. And so if you scan that, it takes you directly to my website.
Oh, I didn't think about using the back of the card. That's smart.
How's it worked for you with the QR code? Have you been getting business as a result?
Well, I just got my business cards in the mail last week. And so I don't know yet, because I just started handing them out because I just got them ordered.
Okay, perfect. Now remember, when we receive business cards, what do we do with them sometimes? What did we do?
Yes.
So that's a great idea with business cards, but I want you guys to really think about utilizing the Keller Williams app to do it in an environmentally friendly way, okay? And that way we can retain any of those people that we contact or speak to. I've given my app to like a gas station attendant, and I ended up getting their parents' business.
Oh, wow. Do you have any experience with pins?
What's
like
that?
pins with your business info on it?
Yeah, the KW app has all of our information, you guys. Make
Oh,
sure
but I meant pins like that you write with. Do you have any experience with those?
with what? I'm sorry.
Like pins that you write with, having your business info on them? I just ordered a bunch like that, but I didn't know if it worked that well.
I don't know if I heard you. Did you say pens?
Yeah, pins like you write with.
Yeah, I typically do everything electronically.
Oh, okay.
But that's my experience. If you have something that works for you, absolutely go for it, because the whole goal is to make ourselves successful, right? And then to helping people out.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're still on 12.3, but one thing I wanted to mention to you is, like, do you guys see that lead capture in your database? Do you have that graph there? 12.3?
Yes.
Okay, so here's how I look at that graph. And just to simplify it a little bit more, do you guys know what a funnel is? You know, like it's that thing and then that spouts out at the bottom. You can use it for, I don't know, I use it for flour or whatever, just to get accurate milligrams in there, grams in there. But you all know what a funnel is, right? So as I look at this graph, what I want to emphasize is that, hey, look, let's simplify it. Everything you throw in that funnel, what comes out are going to be your clients. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You throw everything, your database, your leads, your contacts, everything that goes into that funnel. As you work with these people, you'll have those are going to be your clients. Do you like the funnel analogy, or do you have any questions regarding that? You guys just talk so I don't feel like I'm talking on my own. Everything you put in the funnel is going to be your business, and that's going to be your legacy. All right. Do you have any questions? I know we talked about leads versus contacts. I guess what I'm saying is every time I like pulled up a business card that I found on the ground, raining down, like when it was raining in the Pearl, I would always put them in my database. You guys would agree that's a lead, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
A contact would be then what?
The contact that you've like actually had a significant conversation with.
Having a phone conversation. So every business card that I got on the street, it sounds so ridiculous, but every business card I got on the street, I would make contact and I would put them on an email distribution or a text distribution. So once you get someone's contact, how do we really nourish or nurture that lead? And then you guys
regular interactions and reminding them that you're a real estate agent during those interactions.
Perfect. And you know, here's the one thing I had a really hard time with when I got into real estate. I'm like, I don't want to call someone and say, hey, I'm in real estate. What my decision was in order to be a top producer was getting to know them, right? Hey, this is Kurt Davidson with Keller Williams. How are you? Have you guys heard of the Ford conversation? Have you guys talked about that? Okay. So every time I talk to someone, I always had like Ford written on my wall. Who wants to give the F in Ford? What's that?
Family.
Okay. What's the O?
Occupation.
What's R?
Recreation.
And what's D?
Dreams.
Yeah, and dreams is kind of funky, okay? Because you don't want to ask someone about their dreams. But I'm going to tell you, and I want you guys to write down that Ford, the Ford conversation. That's the best way to be able to call someone, and you guys have like a thought process of how you're going to go there. Who wants to call someone and say, hey, I'm into real estate. Do you want to buy or sell? None of us want to do that, right? That's the ultimate goal. But having that conversation is huge, you guys. Once I got into the Ford conversation, without being like all technical about it, right? But once I got into the Ford conversation, I mean, it changed my freaking life, you guys. Okay. It changed everything because I was able to have a conversation, and I didn't say dreams because that just seems too dreamy. I think I rephrased it as, what are your goals? So it's Ford. Instead of a D, I did a G, kind of. But once you have these conversations starting with an F, you'll really, people are going to respond to you. Okay. Who doesn't like talking about their family or occupation, recreation? Who doesn't like talking about that, right? I'm going to tell you, hands down, if you guys could practice the Ford conversation, boom, I'm telling you, your life is going to be so different with these conversations. And I'm really passionate about that because that changed my life. All right. So I'm still on that same page. And I'm sorry if I get away from our conversation. Just let me know if I'm going too fast or too slow. Okay. Do we all agree?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So are we okay with like how we have these conversations? Do you guys see that quote on 12.3? Once you meet your new contacts? Who sees that?
Yeah.
I see it.
Who wants to read that? Let's just read it. Go on, whoever.
It's always a shy class. I guess I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Once you meet your new contacts, you either do business with them immediately or you don't. Either way, once you've met them, you put them in your database and stay in touch with them forever.
Awesome. I'm going to tell you, I had clients who I had met like years in the past, and all of a sudden they call, now I wouldn't say leads in the past. Okay, you guys, I put them in my database. I think I sent them a text once, like twice a year. I put them on my distribution list with emails. Never spoke with them, but I would get a call and say, "Hey, I want you to list my home." I'm like, "How did you hear from me? How did you hear of me?" And they were like, "Well, you sent us text twice a year and you sent us these emails." It was the most passive business that I ever got. Okay. Did I do the right thing by not calling them? Probably not. But guess what? When we talk about once you put them in your database and stay in touch with them forever, you guys, that's the biggest thing ever. It's huge. Okay. It's amazing. Once you start putting them in your database, it's like, you guys, your life changes. I was in an Ignite class. When was I in Ignite? 6 years ago. And I was just like there with you guys. And I had an instructor say, "You know what, you guys, your business is really going to grow. You're going to have more business than you realize." And I just thought, oh, whatever, she's just saying that. But I saw her a couple weeks ago in my office, and I said, "You know what? I'll never forget what you said, is that your business is going to grow. You're going to have clients like there's no tomorrow." You guys, it's going to happen. And I'm going to say what she said to me, what I'm conveying to you. If we just continue with these contacts, put them in our database and let them know that we're still around and use that forward conversation, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be amazing for all of you. I swear to God. I didn't believe it, but I got there. Okay. And just interrupt me anytime. I don't want to always be talking. Okay, you guys? Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't always want to be talking. So let's go to the next page. And again, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get off base and I just start like vomiting out of the mouth with the conversation. So I want to go on your pace, but let's go to the next page where we talk about identifying goals. And I think we already touched base on this. Would you agree? Convert contacts to close business.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have anything to share about that? I know I shared my experience. Or are we too new? Or are we so new that we want to have a further conversation on that? You guys, don't be shy. I'm with you. I'm like one of you, okay?
I personally can't speak on that yet because I have not converted any contacts to clients yet, so I don't have anything to say.
Do you guys think you're all about at that same point?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. This is the biggest opportunity that you have, all right? Again, when I got into real estate, I knew 5 people when I moved up to Oregon. Oh my gosh. And I was like a nervous wreck. However, what are a couple of things that I did? If you remember our prior conversation.
Entering every business card you saw, even if you found it.
That, and what's the other thing I did? I shared my app.
Oh yeah.
I shared the KW app. And not always I have business cards, but I like, hey, look, if you know anyone who has any questions regarding real estate, here, I'd like to share this with you. And what's really exciting is that it gives you like a guide on home buying, home selling, because it's all included in that app, right? You guys, I think that's the most exciting thing we can do to build our business in a non-threatening way. Who here likes to say, call someone and say, hey, do you want to buy or sell a home? Who likes to do that?
Nope.
Okay, raise of hands. Who likes to do that, or who doesn't like to do that? You guys, I'm here too. I'm in the same way. I'm not a salesperson. I'm a business person. Okay, so here's the one thing. In Phoenix, did you mention this, that you haven't converted contacts to close business?
Yeah, it's only week 2, nothing yet.
Okay. What's an analogy? I'm gonna date myself, but it's putting one step in front of the other. I think that was Mary Poppins, right? Put one step in, whatever that was. What was that from? Do you guys know? Okay, I just aged myself. But here's the thing, you guys. It's like taking steps to get there without being intimidated. Does that make sense? Can you resonate with that? Is it intimidating for you to get a contact or to get a lead? Who has experience with it being intimidating? I've been there many times, so we can share, okay? All right, come on, you guys. Who's
Yeah,
been
it
intimidated?
can
Yeah.
it can absolutely be intimidating, especially I'm so new and still learning that having conversations without 100% confidence can be difficult.
Ooh, I agree with that completely. That's been my hardest issue is I don't feel like talking about it until I feel like I can really hold down a conversation about it.
Oh my gosh, did you know I was in that same point? Does anyone else feel this way? Just give me a thumbs up. Jan, Gu, Brandon, do you guys kind of feel all that same way? Have you had that same experience? All right, you can say yes or no. I'm not going to go into the chat, but I'm going to tell you I did the same thing. I had no confidence because I didn't know anything about real estate, right? So how can I talk to someone? Do you guys have someone, do you have a mentor or a productivity coach that you can ask them questions?
Yes.
So here's the thing. You guys, you're all smart and you're all intelligent. This is the most amazing thing is that you don't have to answer the question if you don't know it. And I know it always is like awkward to say, I'm going to get back to you, but we all know someone who can provide us an answer. Would you all agree? Do you have someone who can provide you an answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
All of you, yeah, okay. All right, so you guys, collaboration is going to be our best experience with our knowledge and confidence. I had no confidence. I didn't know you guys. You guys will like laugh at me when I tell you that I was just like so stupid regarding real estate and the first contracts that I wrote. I had no idea. Okay, but when I wrote like a purchase agreement and it wasn't accepted, my first 5 were not accepted. Okay, you guys. So what I would do is call the listing agent and say, hey, what could I have done better? And they're not with our company, they're with like typically, but they're with some other agency, right? Another brokerage. But it's amazing how I gained so much knowledge from someone who wasn't with KW and just asking them how I can do things different when I write future offers. Have you thought about that before? But just taking like biting the bullet and say, what could I have done?
No, but that's good to know we can.
And we should. You know what? As an experienced agent, if I had, and I've never had this happen, but if I had a buyer agent whose offer wasn't accepted, who is new, and called me and said, what could I have done differently? Oh my gosh, I would be on the phone with them for an hour and just, well, not an hour, but just talk to them about how they could do something differently, right? I'm going to tell you, so any of that intimidation, it's okay. I had it, you guys. I had it 1,000%. But the more that we take classes, the more that we do some training, the better knowledge we get and the more confident we become. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Again, writing my offers, all 5 of them, the first 5 were just like, I didn't complete the right things. I didn't have the signatures in the right spot. And they told me, And it was the best, some of the best education I got, right? Because that's firsthand. Okay. So, I'm getting off board, but we're on 12.4, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about identifying goals. When we talk about convert contacts to close business, how do we keep in touch with our clients? Or how do we keep in touch with our leads, actually? What do you guys think is the best way to do that?
You have a smart plan system on KW Connect, and you send out emails, texts on a regular basis, and postcards, birthday, things like that.
Okay, so here's the most amazing thing. We can do things that don't cost us anything. I love the postcards, right? But if we don't, because we're all new into this, right? If we don't want to spend money up front, we're going to lean back on command, okay? Because command has gotten me business passively. Remember when I said I put people on a mailing list and they would call and say, I want you to list my home. I'm like, I don't know you. But they would say, you send me like SHIT emails like every month, but they actually acknowledged it. So when we talk about convert leads to close business, it's really staying on the top of the mind of who your audience is, okay? You don't have to say, oh, I'm in real estate and I'm like whatever. It doesn't have to be $1 million listing type of like conversations, But the most important thing is putting them in your context. And then where you go from there is a learning experience to figure out what's right for you. Would you guys agree to that? Does that sound okay? Am I talking too much?
No.
Okay. So the point number 2 in that is stay top of the mind with your contacts. I'm going to tell you one of my issues have been I had to take care of my family. I had to take care of like my mom for the last 2 years, and so I took a step away from real estate. But I wasn't on the top of my the mind with my clients or my contacts as a result. And did my business hurt? Absolutely. So guess what I'm doing now? I'm going back. Have you guys heard of the DTD2 contact process?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Who said yes? Phoenix?
Me, Joanna.
No.
Okay, what we're going to ensure, this is the best way I have found that I can keep in contact with my clients. It spells out alphabetically who you should be texting, who you should be calling on a weekly basis. And let me tell you, it's so unintimidating because it says you need to call people who have alphabet A to C this week, right? Who's done this? Has anyone done this yet? Oh my gosh, you guys, this is going to change your life, okay? When we want to contact someone, we don't know who to call. Would you guys all agree? It's like, well, who do we call next? Do I want to call my mom or my brother? Do you understand where I'm going with this?
Yes.
This actually will give you a plan on who to call every week. And I'm putting a note here to send you guys a DTD2, okay? I don't know the acronym for that, if that's okay. Boom, 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 boom.
I have a question about that because I have the calendar, but I don't know what to say when you make a call or what is the context, the content for a text message.
Okay, do you guys, when you make the call, do you remember us discussing like Ford Buicks or Ford Tauruses or Fords?
Yes.
Okay. So in a conversation, I'm going to always fall back on the Ford conversation. Okay, you guys? And what's the Ford conversation? When you pick up the phone, you call someone, you're not going to say, I'm a real estate agent and just get embarrassed and hang up, right? We're going to have that Ford conversation. Who wants to describe the Ford again?
Family, occupation, recreation, dreams.
That's it, you guys. Once you have that first conversation, people are going to, it's building a relationship. And it's getting back to what we're doing here is building relationships. And I'll tell you what, until you build that relationship, you may not want to put them on a text messaging because you want them to know who you are, but build that relationship. This is all about, it's not about selling, you guys. It's all about relationship building. That's all it comes down to. Would you agree? Somewhat? Who here thinks that they're in sales? And it's okay if you say yes. Who's here wanting to build relationships to build their business? All right, I don't see all.
Both.
Yeah. All right, okay. So I'm going to tell you this business and growing your business is all about building relationships, hands down. Okay, hands down. Oh my gosh, I've got so much stuff.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just trying to understand where this is going. So about the Ford. So in order for this Ford principle to work, so we are supposed to know there. We should have some kind of knowledge base about the individual, right? Without it, we cannot really initiate a conversation. So it's just like family, occupation, recreation, and dream. We should know about it prior to the conversation. Without it, how do you initiate the conversation? If you can show us the example, then that'd be very helpful.
Okay. All right. This is a way to start a conversation. All right, you guys. And it was a good outline for me. Hi, how are you? This is Kurt Davidson with Keller Williams. How are you? How's your family? Well, you get to that point. How are you? How are your family? Oh, our family's doing good. How many kids do you have? I've got 3. Oh, fantastic. What are their ages? Where did they go to school? How is that school where you live? It's just having that conversation.
Do you ask that question even at the first time conversation? I mean, like if I get a call like that, and I'll feel very uncomfortable.
And
to be honest.
I agree with you. This is probably once you're comfortable with them, it's a good conversation to have. I will tell you that many times, if it's I don't do cold calls. I'm like 99% referrals, okay? But I built my referral business based off of relationships. So I will tell you that, yeah, that can be awkward. Who wants to get a call and say, how's your family? I'm just going to hang up on them, right? However, if you begin sending them on.
So basically, this whole Ford principle is based off of the assumption that you already built the relationship and then you know the facts, like factual stuff about the person. Without it, you cannot really initiate that kind of conversation, right?
Well, here's the most amazing thing, Young. Once we get them into our database, we can start to get to know them, right? And so instead of a cold call, I'm not going to say, hey, how's your family? Because they're going to hang up on me, and I would with someone else. But once we start, I don't know how we start building that relationship. It could be putting them on an email distribution, putting them on a text distribution. But when I put a contact into my database, I'll always let them know, hey, this is Kurt Davidson with Keller Williams. Don't hang up, but I did happen to see your card, and I picked it up, and you're an artist. How do you do your artwork? Where do you how do you sell your business? It's just having this conversation, you guys. So when I talk about Ford, it could be with anyone. Does anyone Young, does that make sense?
This is a Q.
Huh?
This is a Q, not Young. This is Q. Q speaking.
Oh, okay, Q. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Young. Hi, Young. I like your little picture in your background. So, but Q, yeah, does that make sense? It's like it's being smart about having a conversation. I think the most important thing is beginning to have conversations so we're more comfortable. All right.
I don't know, like it's gonna be more like a trial and error. Obviously, if I'm to connect with someone like me, then yeah, I'm not gonna get that call and then never gonna continue the conversation without feeling comfortable, right? So basically, there should be some kind of developed relationship between two of us, right? But it's well, this whole conversation stuff is kind of tricky, right?
Well, Q, I get it. And when I was in your position now, like listening to someone like me, I would say the same thing. I always said the same thing. Well, I'm not going to be able to. It seemed too awkward. However, when we talk about building relationships, how do we do that? Is it having a conversation?
Yeah, totally. I'm good at having conversation, and obviously that's why my friend liked me, and then I know how to do the conversation, initiate the conversation, and then I know how to bring up like some topics to continue our conversation. But it's a different thing, right? Well, so I'm not getting a tangible answer from you because it's quite vague, and then it's more it's not different from cold calling. And obviously I don't have a crisp idea of how I can initiate the conversation. And obviously that's why a lot of agents don't like to do cold calling. So I understand if I develop a relationship with them already, like slightly, then and then I know some factual stuff about them, then yes, I can do all kinds of conversation without a problem. But if let's say I picked up the business card like you, and then I add that to my database, and then I'm gonna call, and then you just said, "Oh, this is an artist," and then if I bring up, "Oh, I picked up your card," and then it turned out you are the artist, and then what do you do about things like that? Then there should be a consideration. There should be consideration of when to call, what time of day, and then if you already identify yourself, oh, I'm with Keller Williams and a broker, but I'm interested. Well, sounds like I'm interested in knowing your work and family and blah blah blah. So I don't have an experience, so I cannot speak for that. So you have an experience, so that's why I ask you to give me an example, like conversational example, so that I have a feeling for that, right? I know how you did it, and then if I'm sold that, oh, that's gonna work, that kind of aha moment I'm looking for here.
So, how do you and this is for all of us, how do you build a relationship? If you go to Starbucks and you talk to the barista, how do you start a conversation with them?
How's it going?
So what we want to do is dive deeper. We want to dive deeper. How long do you work?
Well, if there's a long line waiting for coffee to be served, then I cannot really.
But I'll tell you what, instead of the objections, what we want to do is find the people will talk, you guys. If people think we're interested in asking the question, listening to the answers, you guys, your life's going to change. I get when I get gas or when I go to 7-Eleven, I always talk to the people. Hey, how are you doing? Has it been busy today? Or because of the rain, are you guys like a little bit slower? It's just having a conversation.
I'm good at that. I'm good at that.
Well, so I think that we answered your question. It's just building relationships. The gas station attendant, I don't ask him about the family. I just start talking.
What's the success rate? I'm not trying to approach this issue as my work, but I'm like, I can do all that. I'm actually good at that, but what's the success rate? Like if let's say you approach the total stranger, and then you initiate the conversation like that, and then what's the success rate of getting the contact information from?
So,
person.
I'm gonna backtrack. Is this a good question for all of you?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me backtrack a little bit. I'm not gonna get their information. It's about building relationship. If I see that same barista at Starbucks, the second time around, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's really busy, blah, blah, blah. I'm having a busy day. I'm having a productive day. I really like and enjoy what I'm doing. What do you do? I'm in real estate. Well, you know what? If you know anyone who has any questions regarding real estate, can I give you can I send you my app with my contact information? I don't think we need to read like too much into it, in my opinion. It's just starting to get used to having conversations and building relationships. And you guys, it's all gonna fall into play. My success rate, I don't know. In a couple of years, I had 5,000 people in my database, and I just put them on a email distribution. Okay, and then they started calling me, and then I started working with them. All right. So you guys, I think we all have scripts daily, right? We have like partners or we have family. We all have scripts that we talk to. How was your day, right? In real estate, it doesn't have to be any different, and it shouldn't be any different, because you guys, we have scripts. We converse so well, and all of you are conversing here today. You converse so well. We can continue that even in our conversations when it comes to real estate. And Ku, I can't give you like a specific example or what the return on investment is. All I'm doing is building relationships.
No, I'm trying to learn your tactics. Like it's all about building a relationship, and then it's the one way of describing it. But obviously, what we're trying to do is growing our business, right? So it all depends on what priority we're going to have. And then let's say I've met someone sitting right next to me at, let's say my kids go to piano class or martial arts, mixed martial arts class, and then someone is sitting next to you, and then you are trying to find a chance to talk to that person. Then what would you do? How do you initiate? I'm like that kind of tangible, like what do you, as an expert, so what would you do? I'm like, that's interesting to learn.
Here's the thing. It's like, we're going to make this 101. You're having a conversation with people, like with the kids, and I don't want to dwell on this, but hey, how long have your kids been in the school? How are they doing? It's just having a conversation. That's it.
Yeah, I understand. I'm not trying to offend you, but what I'm trying to get to is here as a new agent. I'm pretty sure that everyone here on the screen would like to learn from an expert. So that's why I ask you for some example, because you've been talking about building a relationship, but I have an engineering background, so I like tangible experiences and examples. That way I can learn it faster and better. That's why I ask you the question.
Okay, and I respect that. So, and I understand you have an engineering background, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different mindset. I have engineers in my family. So basically, all I'm saying is building relationships starts with a conversation. That's it. Just having a conversation with someone. That's it. I don't have examples. I think this is going to be something that we all can practice. It's just having a conversation. How do we build relationships? It's having a conversation. That's where I'm at. Okay. I can't give you a model or like something perfect to say, because that's going to be coming inherently as we have conversations with people. It's all about building relationships. All right.
All right.
Okay. We're getting way off track here, and I've only got like 40 minutes. So are we okay so far on our conversations that we've had? Anyone? Are we okay with like any questions about building relationships? Does anyone want to give an example how they've built a relationship that developed? It could be even a partner.
I have an example, and a simple example, because last week I went to the store and I needed something for the store. And the owner said me, okay, this is my car. Okay, this is the number for my store. And I said, oh, it's the perfect time because in order to share my car with the owner. And I share my car with the owner. And I received a call 2 days ago for the owner from the store. Was amazing. It was.
Go ahead, Phoenix, and thank you.
Sorry, I just said, wow, I forgot I was unmuted. I'm normally muted during class.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was at the store a couple weeks ago. I don't know how to pick out guacamole. Okay, this is so stupid, but I didn't know how to pick out guacamole that was like really fresh. So I asked this woman who is nearby. I'm like, how do you find like the best guacamole? And she's like telling me, I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you know this? And I had a conversation. Guess what? She's now a client, or she's now in my database. She's going to be buying or selling the next year. It was just a conversation about guacamole. You guys, it's like so elementary. Having that conversation is really, it's the start of everything. I can't give you, that was like one example. I've talked to people. I was at Les Schwab Tires, and the popcorn machine was out. You know how they all have popcorn in those stores, in the tire stores? And I'm like, oh, maybe we should find someone to get more popcorn. And I had a conversation, and guess what? That led to another lead. This is 6 months ago. And I ended up selling their house. It's just having a conversation, being interested in someone. People like to talk about themselves, right? Having that conversation is so, it's so amazing. Even popcorn, like, let's talk about this. And I just, what kind of tires are you getting? What happened to your tire? I had a nail in my tire, and this is why I'm here. You guys, that's it. It's just building relationships. I don't have like a specific model, but inherently, we've all like built relationships with people. We've had spouses, or we've had relationships. It all starts with a conversation. And that's how we build the business, is having that conversation. Does that make sense to any of you, or to me? It makes sense for me. Do you have any questions about conversations? Okay. We keep on going on. So when I keep on going on, and I'm not like adhering to the text, are you guys okay with us just chatting and not going through everything? Brendan, Taylor, all of you. So we talked about a touch plan. Okay, do you guys see that in the book, like, coming up?
Yes, it's on 12.5.
Yeah, here's the thing. And I think we've just, in our conversations, I think we've already touched base on this. When we talked about the 9 to connect or 36 to convert, I want to talk to you about number 1. I'm going to send you the DTD2 plan to be able to, like, hey, what's the best way to call clients? What's a formulated way to do that? But it'll touch base on quarterly phone calls, monthly email, newsletters, market reports, videos. Who's on social media out here? Any more? Q, Young, Brendan, are you on social media? Ah, okay. So here's the thing. A lot of my clients have gotten to know me just from social media, right? Because here's the thing, they don't want to like find a real estate agent. They want to find someone that they connect with. And when they happen to be in real estate, boom, you're going to get those business. So I will tell you, on 19 to connect, you guys can just look at that, but I recommend you use the DTD2 plan to make your contacts. Even if you have 2 in your database, I don't care. Just use the plan, period. All right. It's a start. If you have 2 in your database, you guys just start with it. Just send them a monthly email on who sends monthly emails out.
I
Okay.
just started.
You just started?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just started. So I think I originally to really try to find out a specific model to apply for all prospect clients and all people around me. But I changed my mind to just start what I can do right now. So I sent out today. I sent out 2 market activity reports for 2 neighboring people around my community. So I just started to send out, and I think that that's the one way of starting communication with them, even if it's by email. But I start to communicate with them.
Okay. Do you think it needs to in your emails? And I'm going to give you guys a suggestion on how you can create an email. Okay. But let me ask you, does it have to be all real estate that you send them on your monthly emails?
Oh, at this point, it was all about real estate.
Okay.
But when I met them in person, I didn't talk about real estate stuff. Only except I just started my business in real estate. That was it. And I just had normal conversation.
Okay.
Then today was the first time to send out real estate related email.
Okay, you guys, this is what excites me so much. I'm gonna have to stand up, okay? This is what excites me so much, you guys, is that the fact that, wow, do we all go to restaurants? So do we get coffee? Do we have good experiences with restaurants or our favorite places?
Yes.
Would all of you agree? Brendan, Hugh, Young, you all agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Building relationships. I'm going to tell you that have you looked at some people's YouTube or like Facebook? Why don't you share your favorite restaurants? These are my 2 favorite restaurants, and I wanted to share them with you. Or have you ever thought about going to like your favorite coffee place or going to your favorite boutique store and just having an interview with them? This is what the audience wants to see, right? This is how we build relationships. People don't, and Gu, I totally respect that because I have done this too, all real estate. However, do we want to be involved in our communities? Do you think people want to see that? Okay, I found the best bakery. It was Helen Bernhardt's on Northeast Broadway. I did one post on that a couple years ago, and I had like 1,000 people look at the video. People are really interested in what you do, how we are with the community. So in my my emails once a month, it's not about. I'll do a real estate recap, but I'll say business of the month or business owner highlight, and then use that to reach out to people. It's really fun, you guys. I mean, we can have fun with this. We can be like influencers, right? By going to or anything. I volunteer. I volunteer at the Q Center, at Blanchet House. I volunteer at a pet store. So I put those experiences in and put them on like social media, or if you're not on social media, put that into a newsletter. Even if you have one person in your database, send that to them. And here's what I've done. Have you guys heard of Fiverr?
Yes.
Fiverr's, it may cost you $5, but or you could do it on your own on command. But I found I researched I researched real estate newsletter, right? And it all like downloaded it for me. And then you could just like update like events coming up the next month in Portland or wherever you're from. My favorite restaurant, or kudos goes to this business owner who's built their business. You guys, it could be so much fun. Okay, it doesn't all have to be real estate, but it can be. I recommend that it be building relationships. People don't want to see all the time real estate, right? They just want to see that you're involved with the community and they can get to know you. Huge, you guys. This is like huge. Do you all understand that, or does that make sense? Anyone want to comment? Okay.
I had a social media account and it is really true what you say, because, for example, I make a post about social media and I can get 2 likes, 5 likes. But when I made a post about myself, about the store, about the weather, I can get 20, 50 likes.
Isn't it, you're being authentic, right?
Yeah.
So it's just being yourselves when it comes to social media or your daily mailers, or your monthly mailers. I put a post in on adopt a dog, like this dog needs to be adopted, just because it meant a lot to me. Or I would put a post in or an email about, hey, look, I'm volunteering at this place, Blanchet House, that this is why I feel so inherently devoted to them, and this is why. So it just gives us something more personal that people can look at. I'm really excited about all of that. So when we talk about communicating with your database, and I'm getting way off track here, but 12.5, 6 connection questions. I think you guys, I think we're covering this as we talk. Would you agree? Who are they? What do they want or need? Where do they want or need it? Why do they want or need it? That's a repetition. When do they want and need it? How do they plan to do it? And you know what, Q, this is like all goes back to you. I'm not going to call them. I'm like, oh, what do you want? What do you need? It all falls back, you guys, on the foundation of building a relationship. Okay. I've never called someone, I think I did at the very beginning, saying, oh, I'm in real estate. No, it didn't work. It was all built on building a relationship, you guys. My entire business was doing that. And then my entire business ended up being referrals, because once you build the relationships and you get the trust from people and you have these conversations and you stay on top of their mind, however you do it, using the D2 program or format, or however you do it, just being on top of the mind of someone, that you guys, that's going to make the huge difference for your success. I mean, it's huge. And it took me a while to do this. I mean, I was just like, ugh, whatever. It just sounded like throw up to me at one point in time. But the foundation is building a relationship, period. Where do you want to go from there in building a relationship? It's going to be up to you. We have models to do that, okay? We have models. Dan, if you have questions regarding what models that we have to nurture relationships. I don't know. You guys don't be shy, because I don't want to be chatting. Anyone? About building relationships. Do we have any questions so far about it? Oh, you guys, don't make me just talk. Okay, so we're gonna go down to, if you guys have your workbooks, 12.7, it's about a 36 touch. We're gonna ignore that, okay? Because I'm gonna ensure that you guys all get the DTD2, I think I have one on my board, program, so you can take care of all these touches, all right? What's the biggest reason why people want to work with us, right? Because they know us. Do we want to be on top of mind? You guys, how do we be on top of mind with people? I call my nieces. How do I be on top of mind? Anyone? How do we be on top of mind with people? And there's no wrong answer.
Be of service anytime we talk to them.
You know, it's just communication, right? Absolutely. And Phoenix, that's a really good observation. It's just being on, when you're on top of mind with someone, it's just letting them know that you're there. Once you let them know that you're there, they're going to get to know that you're there in real estate. All right. Does that make sense? Sorry.
Yes.
My no, I can't get it. My CPA. Oh, if you want a good CPA, let me know, because he's calling me right now. But we're gonna kind of ignore the 36 touch plan. I mean, that's a little bit older. But I do want you to look at it. We talk about goal setting, and this is on 12.8. Here's the deal. Wow. When we talk about goal setting, you guys, I want to do 40 transactions a year. That's just always my goal. And I typically meet it, okay? How many contacts do I need in order to make my 40 transactions a year? And you guys, Keller Williams has some really good models about like breaking it all down. But here's the thing. It's like, if we start with our phone calls using that DTD2 format, this is all going to fall into play, you guys. We just have to start making those calls. That's it. That's all. And it doesn't cost us any money, right? I mean, we got our cell phone bill, but that's it. It doesn't cost us any money to do that. So the more conversations we have, would you agree that we build those relationships and we can get appointments? Do you guys have any questions about appointments? Because I always had a hiccup on that. Do you have any questions on appointments and what that means? Or just, can someone give me like a feedback on appointments and what that meant to them? Yeah, I'm going to call someone out. So just someone say something. Yeah. Young, have you had an appointment yet?
I don't have yet.
Have you had an appointment yet?
Yes, I don't have it. Yeah.
Okay, here's what's really exciting, you guys. I always freaked out about appointments because I always assumed that I had to sign a listing agreement or whatever. But sometimes when I make appointments, I just meet with someone. I'm like, hey, do you want to meet for coffee? And well, I don't say it that way, but I'm like, hey, let's meet for coffee at 9 a.m. at the Waterfront Cafe or whatever it may be. And all it is building a relationship, okay? Appointments are huge so you can have person-to-person contact, because that's huge. You guys are like super cute and super good looking and very personable, okay? People want to talk to people. It doesn't have to be on the phone. When we book an appointment, does it have to be a listening appointment? I don't know. That's going to be up to you, but it's all about building the relationships. Does that make sense? Yeah. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you this on 12.9. Has your thinking changed a little bit differently once we're on this Zoom versus prior to it? Has your mindset changed just a little bit?
Yes.
Phoenix, I'm going to ask each of you. Brendan,
Yeah.
Taylor.
Yes.
Okay. I'll go down the line, but I'm going to ask you guys, how has your mindset changed as a result of our conversation? And I'd like each of you to share, even if it sounds like silly, just share, please.
Whenever I spent that week sick with the flu, I, for some reason, started doubting my entire career because I took a week off and I was like, I'll never be able to do any of this. So just like getting back into class and seeing your positivity, and that you started with a similar number of contacts as me and you still made a career. So I'm like, okay, yes, get back in that positive mindset. You can do this.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, I love that because I've been there at the same spot. Brendan, what about you?
I feel more confident going into contacting the contacts and like putting more people into my contact list. I feel inspired to go make a bunch of calls for sure.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else?
I've kind of been thinking this throughout the class, but having a difficult time trying to figure out how to word it. But I think it's less about thinking about the end goal of closing deals and more just about thinking about making more relationships. Um,
Yeah, exactly. I was in the same point as you when I first started, okay? But then I kind of changed the way I look at things. Who's been to Bold here? Or are you going to go to Bold? Or have you heard about Bold? KW Bold, have you heard of it?
No.
Okay. You guys are freaking me out. KW has a class. I think the next one's going to be in the fall. It's called Bold, but it's going to give you all the steps. And I'm not trying to sell anything because I don't know if you see it. I've been to 3 Bold classes out of like 10. But I want you to really consider going to Bold. You guys, it costs money, and I don't want you to do that at the beginning of your career. But what I'd love for you to do is continue with the Ignite classes. I had an analogy of, wow, when I first started after my second year, one of the old timers went up to my team leader, and I was at KW Portland Central at the time in Inner Northeast. And he said, you know what? Kurt's been here 2 years and he's a top producer. What am I doing wrong? And the team leader is looking through everything. She's like, did you know that Kurt has attended every class and you haven't? That's the difference. You guys, knowledge is power. And the more we know, the better decisions we can make and the more confidence we have. Okay. So, your thinking has changed a little bit. Ku, has your thinking changed a little bit? I know you're an engineer and you're like, yeah.
This is a Q, not Ku, by the way.
Ku, okay, Q.
Yeah, and it sounds a little, I don't know. Yeah.
And my apologies.
Well, not much different. Because I've been doing the exact same thing you talked about. I'm just getting back to talking with my old friends from Intel, and then I've been doing exactly what you did, and then I'm trying to think of expanding that into the like different arena, like Perfect Strangers, and then just like you said, just random people arena, right? And then I think if I can do that confidently, then yes, I can turn that into my my database, and then yes, yep.
Okay, so here's wow, that's perfect. So let me tell you something, and this is how I got my referral business. As you have conversations with people, what I have done in the past to make myself successful is say, hey, I know you may not have any questions regarding real estate buying or selling. Who do you know that may have that I can help them out? All right. And that gets your people to think, and that's how we can build up our referral base. I'm going to tell you on the average, I don't have the specific report, but on average, every person knows throughout a year at least 7 people who are buying or selling. Okay. It's like, have you guys seen, it's like 6 degrees of separation. All right. People may not know that they've got someone who's interested or buying or selling. However, if they think about it, oh yeah, they just had twins and they just need to move out of their apartment, right? You guys, there's so much business out there, and we're not competitors. There's so much business out there. You guys, we can make such a difference, and we can make a difference in your lives as well on being successful. I'm going to tell you, just start processing, just really think about building those relationships, asking questions. And that's going to change your lives, you guys. It changed my life, and I really want it to change yours as well. I think we went through the whole program without even going through the whole program. Would you all agree?
I think it was good.
I think we touched base on everything, just having these conversations. Can I give you my information if you want to text me or contact me on having any further conversations? I'm happy to do that to you because I happy to do that with you. I did the same thing when someone volunteered that in an Ignite class, and it changed my life. So can I give you my number, and you can text or call me, and I'll give you my email address as well. Any mentoring information I have, I can send your way. But I learned from others. I mean, that's it. So if you guys want to write down my cell phone number, text or call me. It's 971-804-2532.
Which office are you in again?
971-804-2532. My email address is Kurt, K-U-R-T, Davidson, like in Harley, at kw.com. I'm so passionate for you guys to like really build up your businesses. Any way I can help you, I will. I know you've got so many resources out there, and us at KW want to be there for all of you. And I learned from you guys. I've learned from some of these questions that we've had. I've learned from that too. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Did you guys like have any ahas like, oh, okay, just please, each of you share like something, what you got out of today, even though I just kept on chatting. Phoenix.
You shared my main one, just, getting back into it, seeing someone else accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, and yeah, hearing new ways to do it. It was all good.
And it's building relationships.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to share? Jan, you're looking at the screen. Do you have anything to share?
And he uses a translator, so there'll be a pause.
Oh, thank you, Phoenix.
I'm using ChatGPT for translation.
What language do you speak inherently? Or what's your language?
I use Korean.
Oh, Korean. Okay.
Korean, yeah.
Okay. Have you know, this is amazing. Have you dived into the Korean community?
Not yet.
Okay. All right, you know where to go from here, right? You already have a community. And you guys, we all have a community, okay? Whether you like dogs or whether you're like in this category or this category, you guys, we all have a community. And what I recommend is if you are wondering who to dive into, we talked about like kids in soccer or kids doing this. That's a community. That's how you can build your business. My community is all over the place, all right? But this is how we build our business, really going into your communities and building relationships. Building relationships is going to be your relationships is going to be the priority with all of you to build your business. And I know you'll all be successful. And I want you to reach out to me if you have any questions or any guidance or whatever. I don't know, but I'm here for you, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
great day.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.